Gamers! I'm obsessed with farming, if you couldn't already tell, and I figured it was time to take it up a notch and create 20 brand new farms from the real world. I'll be strictly following real life reference for every single farm, from chocolate, hops and strawberries to oysters, fish and chickens. Yeah, I've included quite literally every farm I can think of. All rigged diddly right, it is time to get started finding a bloody location, because yeah, we've got quite a lot of farms to get through here, and we're gonna need quite a massive area, to say the least. And so I've got one location in mind. We're gonna head there right now. All right, and well, here we are. It's not the flattest location. Yeah, it's probably the best spot I can find. Basically, I'm gonna have to do a lot of terraforming and a lot of placing dirt blocks. Oh, bloody right, and there we have it. There is our completed, terraformed bloody area. This took freaking forever, man. I'm not even gonna cap on you guys. Alright, cut that out. That was fucking disgusting. But yeah, as you can see, I've mapped out each one of our plots here. We're gonna have, of course, 20 plots in total, which is gonna be kind of insane. And yeah, so for our first farm, we have a chocolate farm. So that means we're going to need to find a jungle biome, and thankfully, I've actually spotted one just over the horizon there. So it's time to go on a bit of an adventure and go harvest a bunch of jungle stuff. I'll meet you guys over there. All right, and here we are at the bloody jungle. So, yeah, the first one I've actually been to in this series, I'm pretty sure. So let's harvest a bunch of wood. I'm gonna harvest a bunch of leaves and also vines as well. I think we probably will be needing vines. So I'm gonna get this done and I'll meet you guys back over at the farms. All right, gamers, and we're bloody back from the jungle. And yeah, I've got a bunch of crap with me. So let's get straight into making our chocolate farm here. So here's the reference picture that I found. As you can see, we just got like a bunch of trees, kind of look like palm trees in the background, and then just this big like collection pit of, you know, cocoa or whatever. And so yeah, that's our reference. We're going to be following that as closely as possible in this little plot that we have here. So at the back, I think I want to add just a bunch of little trees, maybe something like that kind of a layout. Yeah, so we kind of got to work with our space that we have here, because even though this is such a massive area, we do only have like a small kind of plot for our farms and stuff. So we got to figure out how to do this most effectively. What I can actually do is we can just go straight out to the borders here, because I want these farms to be touching side by side. So we're going to utilize the entire space that we have here, I reckon. Yeah, that's way better, dude. What was I bloody thinking, mate? There we go, like that. And then we can have maybe our 2 pits. So we'll make these to be maybe 3 blocks tall. Maybe we'll make some of them 4 blocks, something like that. And then what we can do is just start adding a bunch of leaves, kind of trying to mimic the reference pictures that we have to work with. All right, and there we have it. There's our little trees. We're of course going to add on our cocoa beans, you know, the most important part of the chocolate farm. There we go. Okay, trees are done. Now let's work on our little collection pits over here, and for that I have our spruce slabs and our spruce trapdoors and also some coarse bloody dirt, and we want to build these right up to the edges. So let's get a bit of an outline going, probably something like that, 2 separated pits like that. Yes, that is going to look awesome. Okay, next what we'll do, let's remove some of the ground blocks and replace it with our coarse dirt, and that just kind of looks like areas where they would, like, you know, collect all of the chocolate and stuff and store it or something like that. Honestly, I have no idea. And so what I might actually do just to make the area in here look a little nicer is just add a couple of bushes throughout here, just because it's looking a little bit barren at the moment. Actually, what might even work well as well is getting some shears and just grabbing a little bit of grass back here. Sweet as. There we go. Chocolate farm is all done. Let's move on to the next one. All right, and for our next one, we have the oyster farm. This is our reference picture right here. As you can see, they're kind of laid out in rows in the water, and they kind of have like nets connecting all of those things together, and that makes an oyster farm. But yeah, so copying the reference, they have like kind of these big poles at the front. So I kind of want to mimic that like so, and then I reckon we have that at the back here too. We'll do something like that. And then of course, we're going to be replacing all of the ground here with some water. And then I think just to make it look a little more interesting, we'll add like a bit of a deeper spot in the middle here. And I'll of course just quickly replace all of this stone with more dirt. Actually, I might do sand. I kind of want to replace all of this with sand just to get a, you know, a bit more of an ocean look. So I'll go grab a bunch of sand and I'll quickly replace all of the ground here. And yeah, I'll meet you guys back here when that's done. All right, and there we have it. There's our plot so far. I also just went and added some water, of course, because that's boring as hell. The next thing I'm going to do is take some artistic liberty and just place some lanterns on top of these. Obviously, they're not there in the reference, but I feel like it's necessary just for the sake of, you know, niceness. And so next, these main poles are connected, and then they're connected to some smaller poles as as well. So we're going to get our smaller poles established, and we're going to be connecting these up with some fence gates, of course, just because it works perfectly. Next, I'm going to bloody go to bed. And so now with that established, we're going to set up the rest of our little poles. So they seem to be pretty farly spaced apart. So let's figure out how far we can go with this. And we'll extend these up to just be one out of the water. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I honestly had no idea this is how oysters are actually farmed. So they're just like kind of done in the ocean in these weird strings of like nets and stuff, which is pretty interesting. Now, actually, I feel like I don't really like these ones being added at the front just because it kind of, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to look a lot nicer having this open and just seeing these rows. I think that's going to look really cool. So once again, we're going to take artistic liberty here and just kind of personalize it a little bit. Right, and there we go. There's our like oyster thing set up, and that's pretty much the oyster farm done. That was a quick and easy one. And honestly, I think it looks so cool and unique. I wonder if anyone has actually made an oyster farm in Minecraft before. I feel like that just hasn't happened. So hopefully this is a world's first oyster farm in Minecraft. Probably not. But let's move on to the next one. So for our next farm, we actually need sweet berry bushes to replicate the look. And thankfully, when I was out searching for coral in the last episode, I spotted this little spruce biome here. Honestly, I have no idea if it has sweet berry bushes in it. So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of an adventure and try and find some. God, you have no idea how far away this is. I'm praying that it has freaking sweet berry bushes, man. Oh, look at that. There's a freaking mushroom biome over there. What the hell? I swear, I just got goosebumps. This is the goosebump moment of the episode. I've never found one of these legit in survival. That's actually insane. We are 100% checking that out after we find some freaking sweet berry bushes, man. God, please just let there be some in here, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do if there aren't any. Come on, man. Where the fuck? Where the fuck are the berry bushes, bro? Oh, there's some right here. Yes, dude. Oh, I'm foaming at the mouth. I don't think we need to shear these. Yeah, we do. Okay, never mind. We got it. Oh, okay. Shears don't do jack shit. Okay, it's just the... Oh, I just wasted one. It's just the actual berries we need to harvest. Okay. All right, we are shit out of luck in the sweet berry department. I scanned basically this entire freaking biome, man, and there's no more. So, I think we got pretty lucky, but let's go check out this mushroom biome. Oh my God, it's huge. Look at it. Yeah, I've not explored one of these, I think, since they literally released these into the game, which is God knows how many years ago. So I don't know if they've added anything new to it. Oh, there's a nice looking area over there. That looks pretty cool. And it's massive too. I'm pretty sure they used to be pretty small or something. They must have made them bigger, or I don't know, man. Holy crap, dude. This thing is huge. This is actually a whole I thought they used to just be islands. So we're gonna make our way back to base. It's definitely gonna take a while, so I'll meet you guys bloody back there in a minute, okay? Okay, so for our next farm, we now have the strawberry farm. And so I found this reference online, and actually they look really cool. They're such like a unique looking farm. Like we got this big water channel in the middle, and then these like beds just of like a bunch of rows of the crop, which is pretty cool. And we got these little undercover areas on the left side too, so I think we're gonna try and incorporate that as well. So we're gonna get that main vein, you know what I'm saying, of water down the middle, I reckon, like this. All right, so there's our main channel of water straight through the middle. I'm gonna remove our little markers here, and what I want to actually do is replace all of the ground here with some coarse dirt, just to kind of differentiate it from some other farms. All right, we now got our main vein of water here. We've got our coarse dirt to plant on. What we're gonna do now is you know, just start placing in our sweet berry bushes. Now, thankfully, they don't hurt you at this stage, which I'm very thankful for. But yeah, it looks like we are definitely not gonna have enough. So unfortunately, oh, you mongrel. Oh, Jesus, look how quick it grows. Oh, actually, what we can do is we can bone meal it. I completely forgot about that. We're not gonna have to wait for them to grow. Okay, let me go get some bone meal. I'll meet you guys back here. All right, we're back with some bone meal, and of course the rain has settled in, but you know, oh well, what can you do about it, mate? We're just going to keep bone mealing this. Yeah, sweet as, dude. That is looking awesome, honestly. Fucking move, you freak of nature. Dude, look at that. That looks so nice in the rain as well. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna incorporate those little white kind of sheltered areas. It looks like they also have the plants on top of them. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab out some of our oak logs, and we're gonna make a little bit of an oak shelter thingamajig. You know what I'm saying? Like that. We'll have this go up 2 blocks, and then I don't want this thing to be too tall. It's gonna be out of proportion. So I think we're gonna leave the fences at that height. We'll add our fence gates in between these, just to make it look like it's actually supported. And then in the picture, around the edges, they have like this white kind of probably sheet or something. Right, and so to emulate that look, what I'm gonna do is basically just place a ring of white wool around this. Oh, it looks pretty weird. God damn it. What we might do is scrap the wool idea and maybe just replace all of the wool with some coarse dirt and just plant more of the bushes on top. Yeah, that's a lot better. Actually, I think to step that up a little, we could surround all of these with some oak trapdoors or some spruce trapdoors. Okay, and what should be the final step back? There we go. That is looking absolutely awesome. Now, I did actually almost forget. Oh my god, I just realized I made the wrong thing. I made stone cutters instead of grindstones. I'm actually brain dead. I meant to make these. God's sake, man. I'll be back once again. Alright, I am back with the right thing this time, the bloody grindstones, and basically I needed these to make a little bit of a wheelbarrow design. There we go, that's our little wheelbarrow design. I think that looks pretty cool, hidden amongst the strawberry bushes there. And yeah, I think that right there is going to mark the completion of our strawberry farm. Definitely, I'd have to say this is my most favorite one so far, but dude, all of these are looking so cool. I love this so far, dude. Okay, let's move on to the next one right here, which is going to be a bit of a special one. I actually need to go harvest a bunch more white wool for this one, so yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna go do that right now, and I'll meet you guys back here. All right, gamers, and we're back, and now it's time to get started with our next farm. So I went ahead and just sheared a bunch of my sheep. I also got some more jungle saplings, as this is going to be our plant, and that's going to be representing a tobacco plant. And so for this one, I'm wanting to kind of make like a bit of a greenhouse design, like a I don't know, like an undercover kind of thing. Also, by the way, here's our reference. I went and found one that's in like a bit of a greenhouse kind of style, so I'm just gonna try and emulate that. Actually, I need glass. We're gonna go get that later, don't worry. Okay, so we're gonna figure out our kind of shape here for our greenhouse, and I think I want something like this. I want like 2 arches, I guess. And then I think for the roof, we might try something like this. Yeah, so there we go, something like that. It does look like a big M at the moment, but just simply don't worry about it, okay? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. And so now what I actually want to do is I want to have an alternating, you know, I want to alternate between our wool and then glass. And I want to do that all the way down. So let's leave a gap here for our glass that we do still need to go and grab. And I'm just going to repeat this exact same shape throughout all of these. So give me a second. I'll get that done right now. Okay, and there it is. There's our completed little hanger. I went and got some white stained glass. There's our greenhouse all done. All we're going to do now is simply grab our jungle saplings and we're going to start planting these in alternating rows like this, all the way down to the end. And we will do the same on the opposite side as well, just like that. And then I reckon right in the middle here, we might add in a bit of like a pathway. And then towards the center here, we can maybe add some of our detailing blocks, maybe a composter and a chest. I think that'll work nicely. And yeah, there we go. That's literally it for our tobacco farm there. Nothing too crazy. I do like this little greenhouse design. We're going to make a variant of it as well for a future farm. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. So yeah, let's now move on to our next farm to the left here. Okay, so next up we have our cashew farm, and this is our reference picture right here. As you can see, they're laid out in rows, and they're trees that are kind of like short and spread out, and they got big leaves as well. So for the big leaves, I've got our jungle leaves, as they have, you know, big leaves on them, and we're gonna try and emulate those like tree shapes, I guess. So here's our plot we have to work with. We are going to probably inset these by just 1, and I want to give a lot of room for these. So I'm going to do, I reckon we'll do something like that. So we'll have a layout of 6 trees. That gives us heaps of room to make these nice and detailed. So yeah, there we go. That's our branch shape there. And what we're going to do is we're going to add leaves. We're not going to fill every single exposed block here, I reckon, just because I think it's going to look too bushy. We kind of just want leaves like on these end ones and not really too many on the rest of the branches. I think that's how we're going to get the most realistic looking cashew trees here. So yeah, something like that. I think that is that's as good as we're going to get. Something like that. That looks like a cashew tree to me if I've ever seen one. I've never seen one except for now, but it's good enough to me, okay? So I'm going to repeat this same design across all of our trees, and I'll meet you guys back here when that's all done. All right, and there we have it. There is our field of cashew trees all done. I think it matches the reference. I mean, as good as I can get it, literally. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty nicely. So I think in here it's a little bit barren, so we could sprinkle in a couple of decorations. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. There's our wheelbarrow, and my mouse just carked it. That is awesome. Okay, now I need to plug in my mouse. All right, we're back. I put my mouse on charge for maybe 3 minutes, so hopefully that lasts long enough. But yeah, I just went and grabbed some grass because I think it still looks a little bit barren throughout here. So I think sprinkling some in will definitely help. There we go. Our cashew farm is now all done. I'm going to quickly actually remove these borders and then we'll move on to our next farm. And so for this next farm, we're going to be needing sunflowers, and thankfully I spotted some just over the horizon. So I went and grabbed a boat, jumped in the water and headed over and just harvested all of them. All right, and we are back at the farm. What I'm going to do now, just to differentiate this one from the other one, I'm going to use a ground of coarse dirt. Hopefully I have enough. If not, I will just go and get some more. So yeah, I'll meet you guys back here when this is all done. All right, we are back with our field all filled out. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to grab out our sunflowers, and we're going to grab the reference as well, which I forgot to mention before, but here it is. As we can see, we just got rows basically of a bunch of them. So I'm going to plant them in and kind of figure out how we want to do this. It also kind of sucks that they're facing that way. Either we could do 2 rows of 3. Yeah, I mean, in the reference, it looks like a row of 3 to me. That looks like about 3 blocks in real life, and then we got 1 block gap in the middle there. So I'm going to do 2 rows of 3 with a gap in the middle. And so yeah, I'm just going to simply plant in all of our sunflowers here. All right, and there we have it. There's our sunflower field all done. On to the next farm. Okay, so for our next farm, we have the hop farm, and this is our reference picture right here. As you can see, they're along all of these like strings, and they're just kind of hanging from those strings, and I think it looks pretty cool. And something interesting is I've actually made a hop farm before in Minecraft, and I came up with a pretty cool design that closely mimics that, so we're going to replicate that here. But first we need to figure out the exact shape that we're going to go with, or like how we're going to lay these out. So we're going to place some fences like this, and they're going to stretch up to be 3 blocks tall. Actually, I just straight up lied to you guys. They're going to be 4 blocks tall, sorry, which might honestly be a little bit too tall, but we'll see, okay? So this is the idea here, and for our last block, we're going to have a trap door. We're going to repeat this on the other side over here, and then hanging down from these, we're going to have some glowberries like that. And that looks almost exactly like hops as well, which is really cool. The only annoying thing is obviously we can't have them on like strings or something. So this is probably the closest way that we can get it, and I think it looks really cool as well. And so obviously we have pretty much run out of glowberries, so thankfully I've got a bunch of bone meal here, which we can use to just harvest a whole bunch of them. So I'm just going to keep doing this until I run out of bone meal. All right, there we go. We've got a bunch of glowberries. We can also just place them and, you know, let them grow as well. But yeah, so now we need to figure out how we want to do the next one. So we can either, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just kind of join onto the next one like this, have another row, and then our final fence right here on the edge of this border here. That way we can get just like 3 whole rows of them. I think that's going to look awesome as well. And yeah, pretty much I'm going to repeat this exact design across the entire area. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, and there we have it. There is our hop farm. Well, kind of done. Obviously, we need to wait for these to grow in to get to the full lushness of it. But yeah, that'll grow in nicely. Let's move on to our next farm. I think we'll head all the way down to the end back over here. Yeah, as you can see in the time lapse as well, I just laid out all of our fields so we don't have to worry about it. So yeah, let's head over here and get onto our next farm. Oh, dude, just coming back, getting some resources for this next farm. Dude, this area is already looking so nice with all of this different stuff. I love it so much, dude. And I'm so excited for this next farm because I'm pretty sure we're going to basically almost be exactly representing it here in Minecraft, and I think it's going to look awesome. I just need to get some coarse dirt. Give me a second. All right, so our next farm here is going to be a vineyard. That is how, you know, wine is made or something like that, I'm pretty sure. And here's our reference picture. So it basically just looks like a bunch of little mini trees, essentially, and I have the perfect idea on how to replicate this almost exactly. So let's get started. I reckon what we're going to do is we're going to use up this entire area, so we're going to get rid of our border, and we're going to cut out some strips here, and I'm going to be replacing all of these with our coarse dirt, because as you can see in the reference, underneath all of those bushes it looks like dirt, and around them is grass, so we're going to be able to do that perfectly here. Okay, there's our coarse dirt rows. What we're going to do next is at the front of all of them, they have like this, it looks basically exactly like a 2-high oak fence, so we're going to add that in, and then essentially what we're going to do now is just add in some spruce fences, just one of them, and that's going to basically replicate the like the trunk of the little tree, I guess. And then all we're going to do next is just add a 2-block high kind of stack of leaves on top of these. Oh, dude, that looks almost perfect. Literally lay the reference picture right on top of this. It's an exact match, dude. Hell yeah, dude. I'm so happy with that one. Let's move on to the next farm. All right, so our next farm is actually going to be an almond farm. And looking at the reference, they're actually trees, and they look almost exactly like cherry blossom trees to me. I mean, I'm colorblind, so I can't tell if they're white or if they're pink, but we're just going to use cherry blossom trees anyway, because I know we have some up here, and I've been wanting to do something with this area up here for a while. I mean, we're not really doing anything with the area. We are just kind of taking some trees from there, but you know, we'll do something with that area eventually. But I'm excited to actually finally get up there and have a proper look at it. So let's jump in one of our boats here and make our way up over there. All right, and here we are up in the cherry blossom biome, and actually it's, wow, it is pretty shit, honestly. I was expecting it to be a bit bigger than this. Wow, that's, yeah. Again, I said this when they first released these biomes. I don't know why they they made them so small. Like, it's so hard to find a big one, but, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, looking at the reference again, there's a lot of these on the ground, basically exactly what these look like. So I'm gonna make sure to grab a bunch of these as well as harvesting heaps of these trees. We need the logs and we need the leaves. So, oh my God. I forgot my shears, you f***ing idiot. God's sake. Ah. All right, well, I'm gonna make the trek back to base. I'm gonna grab some shears and I'll get back up here, harvest the trees, harvest the leaves, harvest the flowers, and I'll meet you guys back over at our realistic farm area. So what I'm gonna do is build a bunch of custom trees here, and I'm gonna try and get them as closely as I can to, you know, matching that reference picture there. So I think we will go with as many as we can basically fit. So yeah, something like that I think is gonna look nice. We'll have kind of rows that kind of zigzag like that. And essentially what I'm gonna do for these custom trees is just build them up to about yay high, I reckon. And the trees look, it's just a bunch of bushy leaves pretty much all throughout the entire thing. So I'm just gonna do something like this and just make big old bushy trees, okay? So yeah, something like that. Obviously we need to add some at the top, but that's our tree there. I think that mimics the design pretty closely. And then the next thing we need to do is coat the floor with a bunch of these flowers. There's just heaps of these coating that entire floor basically, except for like these rows in the middle. So we'll kind of leave a row out in the middle, or maybe just add a couple of little ones there. And yeah, I'll meet you guys back here. All right, and there is our almond farm all done. That is looking awesome. I love that, even with the leaves falling down as well, dude. I wish they'd add that to the other trees as well. That's so nice. But let's move on to our next farm over here. And this one's gonna be our first animal farm, the pig farm. So I've got this reference picture here. But yeah, I'm gonna deviate from this one a little bit because I want it to look extra nice as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of make something like this. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I kind of want an arch for every single pig, you know? I want an arch, and then I want to have it go out to the outside out here into like the trough area. So let's just kind of figure out how we're going to do that. We'll put a fence at the back so they can't escape. And then I reckon we'll do something like this. We'll have stairs on top of all of these, and then we'll have our slabs in the middle like that, so that gives us our arch, and this is kind of like the pig's like home, I guess. What I might actually do is maybe have a gap in the middle, or yeah. And so next what we actually have to do is replace these with some full blocks, because this is going to go up here. What I'm going to do now is just quickly fill out all of the rest of this, and once that's done, we'll figure out the outside area. All right, so our little arches are all done. This is where our piglets are gonna stay when it's, you know, raining or when they go to bed. And now we need, oh my God, dude, that scared the shit out of me. What the hell? But now we need to make their like fenced off outside area. So we're gonna make a little entrance here, and then we're going to add in a corner of, you know, fences. And then I think, yeah, we should definitely replace all of the ground here with some coarse dirt, just to get that, like, you know, pig ground look, you know, like the wallow and the filth and stuff. Okay, there's all of our coarse dirt added in. Next, what we're gonna do is start detailing by adding in a bunch of troughs and stuff like that. And I think actually surrounding these with some signs will kind of, you know, just add a little bit of detail in that I think we were missing before. And yeah, that looks so much better with all of the signs added in, especially this one over here. It looks really cool. I'm so sorry, dude. But yeah, there we have it. There's our pig farm, pig wallow. I don't know what it's called. Now all we need to do is actually fill it with some residents. And thankfully, I found one little guy over here, which I frantically dug a pit into so that he would stay here. As you can see, this is my previous attempts. But here's our little guy. I'm gonna go grab some carrots so that we can lure him over. And I'll also I'll find a second one around, and we'll get them added and started breeding together. So yeah. Okay, coming in here, I just realized that they're gonna be able to simply jump up here and walk out. So we're gonna have to move these troughs into the middle here so that they can't leave. And then I'll go find this guy a friend. So yeah, give me a second and I'll get all this done. All right, I found our guy a little friend just in the forest here, which is awesome. Let's get him added to our little pen. Come on, buddy, in you get. Okay, and we're gonna start the breeding process. Give him some privacy, and there we go. Oh, dude, we got a cute little baby piglet. That is so cute. All right, there we go. Our pig farm is now all done. All right, so our next farm I'm actually very excited about, because there is something in the game that looks almost exactly like the crop that we're going to be, you know, theoretically growing here. And we do need to find a very specific biome for that. So I'm going to go on a bit of an adventure to try and find this biome. I'm praying that there is one nearby. I'm going to get onto this dock. I'll grab a boat, and I'm just going to sail around the edges of all the biomes and hope that we can find it. Oh, you're kidding. No way. Literally, I have just barely left. Dock is over there. I just came down this way, and you're joking, the biome's right. I just got goosebumps all over my body, brother. The biome's right there. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so glad I found that, dude. Yes. All right, actually, the reason I haven't gone to bed yet is because we need some bone meal. Because this plant only grows in the swamps, and you can actually get it only by bone mealing in swamps as well. I'm pretty sure they generate naturally in there, but a quick way to get them is just bone mealing in the swamp, and we will get them. So let's get a bunch of bones. I'm gonna kill all of these skelly wags. Oh, the fucking invisible spiders, you little shithead. And yeah, we're gonna need a lot of these plants because we're gonna be basically just filling up that entire area because that's, you know, that's what the reference shows us basically. All right, here we are. We're at the swamp. I still haven't slept because we're probably gonna need more bone meal, but here it is. Here's the plant that we need, blue orchids. Yes, dude, I'm so glad we found this. Oh, it's a little froglet too. Oh, dude, that is so cute. I've not actually seen one of these in survival yet. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna basically just grab a bunch of these, and I believe as well, if we bone meal, yes, we get more blue orchids. Also, I just realized another awesome thing we can get from these biomes is some slimes. Dude, I actually need these for the next episode, so I'm really glad we found these. All right, we are back, and I actually just thought of a cool idea. I want you guys to guess what the next episode is gonna be just based on the fact that we need slime balls for it. So leave a comment with your guess. If you get it right, I'll feature you in the next video. Yes, this is my idea of getting more engagement on my video, okay? So just leave a comment for your boy, okay? But yeah, we're back. We've got a little bit more blue orchids than I wanted because yeah, these are actually my favorite flower in the game, and I want to start using them in more builds, so I just got a bit more. But yeah, essentially what we're making now, I don't think I mentioned it, but we are making a flax field. Here's the reference picture. Literally, it is just a giant field of flowers. Nothing too interesting about it, so we're going to be following that reference and literally just making a, yeah, a big old field of flowers, okay? Yeah, there we go. That's our flax field done. I really love just big flower fields. They look so nice and lush, especially with these. They just look awesome. So yeah, flax field is all done. Let's move on to our next farm. Okay, and next up we have the coffee farm. And here's our reference picture, and basically it looks like just a whole bunch of rows of they almost look like spruce trees or mini spruce trees, I guess. They look in between a tree and a bush. So we're gonna do basically that. All right, and so we don't want these to be too big. Probably about 4 blocks high for the stem there. Actually, I might even make it 3 blocks and we'll keep a leaf on top. And so I reckon literally something like that. I think that is almost perfect, matching the bloody reference, you know? Oh, one thing that I want to do as well, I want to replace the ground with coarse dirt. But yeah, so literally all this one's going to be is me filling out some coarse dirt. I'm going to repeat this same general tree design. I'll make some of them a little bit taller. But yeah, I'm going to get all of that done right now. All right, and there we have it. There is our coffee farm all completed. It was looking a little bit barren in between here, so I just went ahead and added in a bunch of little details, some composters and some wheelbarrows around. Definitely livens it up a little bit, but I think this turned out awesome. And yeah, so let's move on to our next farm. And this one here is going to be a fish farm. So here is our reference. As you can see, they're just like these giant circles in the water, basically. So that's what we're gonna try and replicate here, of course. So let's get rid of our border, and what I'm gonna do is, of course, the fish farm has to be the one that has a, you know, a hollow bottom where we're going to be putting water. That's actually shit, brother. So we're gonna have to jump under here and thicken up this old boy down here, you know what I'm saying? All right, and there we have it. There is our big old pit of water. So now what we're gonna do is add in our big circles. We're probably only gonna be able to fit in 2. We'll fit 1 here and 1 over yonder. And I wanna make these out of fences to look, you know, as close to the reference as possible, obviously. And so we gotta figure out the shape. And I think we're gonna do something a little like this. Oh my god! Wow! Yep, so there we have it. That's our circle designs right there. And I'm going to basically just extend that all the way down to the bottom. So yeah, I'm gonna need to make a bunch more fences. So bear with me, gamers, and I'll get back to you once this is all filled out. All right, and there is our fish farms. Honestly, it does not look as good as I thought it would. But we're going to stay true to the reference, okay? So, and yeah, I think this follows the reference pretty well, except for, you know, what I'm doing right now, which is adding in some lanterns because, you know, it needs all the help it can get, basically, okay? So, dude, it would help if I could put them on the corners, brother. What am I doing? Oh, Just lost one too. Fuck you mongrel. Okay, so there's our fish farms. We got 2 separated ones. Now what we need to do is actually, get some bloody fish in here. So we're going to race down to the ocean down here. And there we go. There's some wild salmon that we're going to go and, what's the word? Enslave, I guess? Cultivate? I don't know, man. And so to get these, what we need to do is actually get a full water bucket and just right click next to them. There we go. We're getting our salmon. Come on, guys. You're coming back to my farm to be bred. Let's bring you boys back to the old fish farm. Yes, there we go. So there's our first one. Let's go get some more. I might just grab as many as I can and chuck them in each just to make this as, unethical as possible. Just like how it's done in real life. All right, and that looks pretty unethical to me. That looks, very realistic now. So I think we're pretty much done with our fish farm now. So let's just move straight on to the next farm. All right, and I'm very sorry for this next one because it is a pretty big cop-out. Because we are doing apples and they are literally just simply these trees over here. I don't know if that's actually how it is in real life, but in Minecraft at least, you get apples from oak trees. So all we're gonna do is, we're gonna plant a bunch of oak trees. So for that, I do apologize. But again, we're keeping it as realistic as possible. So we're gonna be cramming this full of oak trees in here. And essentially we are going to pray that we don't get one of those massive ones because I'm gonna have to cut it down, which is gonna be annoying. And also I don't think I have enough bone meal, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm so sorry. This is the biggest cop out, but we're done with the apple farm. We'll check back in on this once these have actually grown. So let's move on to the next farm. All right, and our next farm is actually going to be a 2-in-1. So we're going to be joining these two together. And I just decided to do that because upon looking at the reference, which is going to be, for our sheep and also our chickens, because we've got chickens on the other side there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, obviously there's no chickens here. I have no idea why I thought there were chickens here. Continuing on. So we're gonna make a giant, kind of double, jointed warehouse, I guess. So yeah, let's get started. I think for our pillars, we're going to make these out of our stone bricks. I think that's gonna look the nicest. All right, so there's all of our pillars. Now let's get started on the actual roof design here. So that's our first roof there. Then we're going to, repeat this on the other side over here. All right, and there we have it. That's our 2 roof designs right there. I still haven't decided what block I'm going to use for the inside of the roof, or if I'm actually going to change this trim to a different block and then use quartz for the main roof. I might actually do that. And so, yeah, let's get all that done as a time lapse right now. All right, and there we go. There's our exterior all done for our barn / warehouse / sheep chicken place. I don't really know. Basically, yeah, we're gonna head on to the inside now and figure out how we're going to lay this out because we obviously have an entrance here, meaning we can't put a big row of animals here. So I think what we might do instead is find the middle and we'll make a pen right here. For our middle one here, we'll add in another pen like that, or maybe even actually we'll make this a walkway so we can get through. Yeah, I like that idea. Okay, there we go. That's our layout. That is looking pretty cool. So I reckon we're going to get sheeps, and then chickens and chickens. I think that's going to be pretty cool. And next for our floor, what we're going to do is we're going to replace all of these kind of walkways here with some spruce slabs. Yes, I'm a cheapskate, not using full blocks because I'm running low on spruce logs and I can't be bothered chopping more right now. So don't judge me, okay? So yeah, what I'm going to do... Oh, Jesus Christ, that scared me. Yeah, what I'm going to do now is basically what I just said, replacing all of the floor. Oh, actually, we can check in on our apple farm here. And yeah, that's growing in nicely. Let's take a look from back here. Oh, you prick. Of course, we got a giant tree that we're going to have to sort that out. I'm also going to go round up some chickens and some sheep. We've got a bunch of them. There's a bunch of chickens roaming around basically my entire area because I keep throwing eggs everywhere. And we've got sheep in our barn right there. You might be able to see. There's our sheep. So we're going to go grab some of those bad boys. I'll sort that tree out. We're going to get our pathway done. I'll meet you guys, back here when that's all done. All right, and there we have it. There is our completed barn. We've got all of our animals moved in, all of our sheeps, all of our chickens. This is looking awesome. I love this little setup in here, dude. Yes. Okay. So sheep and chickens are both all done. Let's move on to our next farm. All right, just before we actually continue with the next farm, I'm over here in my medieval city at, the old brothel. Okay. I'm here for a good time. Yeah, okay, that's just weird. But, yeah, what I'm actually here for is to get some mending books. Because, as you can see, my diamond leggings, they're about to burst. So, yeah, we got to get that sorted out. I'm going to get 4 mending books in total for each piece of armor. And actually, before I add those on, what I want to do is go make some new boots and enchant those. All right, we're back from the caves with level 33. Let's crack out the old diamond vault. Oh my god, we're running pretty low here. Well, thankfully, all we need to make is some boots. So, let's get those crafted up. Bang, bang. There we go. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to head up to the old enchanting table up here. Let's crack out the lapis, and we're going to see what we get on our boots. Depth strider. That's not great. Actually, first, what we can do, let's enchant our helmet first. Fire protection. Man, that sucks. I want protection, not fire protection. Aqua affinity, that's actually pretty good. Now, let's see what we get on our boots. Yes, protection 3. Unbreaking 3, depth strider. I think that's the best boots we could have asked for. Yes, I'm so happy with that. And let's slap mending onto every single one of our pieces of armor here. Bang. We are all done, all kitted up, but we're fully enchanted finally. Like, what is this? Episode, like, freaking, I don't even know, dude. Like, 14 or something? And we're finally fully enchanted. All we need to do is actually get netherite on everything, which, yeah, I can't be doing right now, to be quite frank with you. Because right now, I'd rather get back and create our farm. So, I'll meet you guys over there. Okay, so starting this farm, we have the cow farm. And this is our reference right here. I don't know why, I really like this like kind of big shed thing that they have, and just like these like feeding stations for these cows. So what I want to do is actually make kind of a mini version of that, and I want to make that right in the middle of our plot here. And now what I want to make here is just like a little roof. You know what I'm saying? All right, and there's our little cow shed all done. On the inside here, I've got some hay bales. I want this to be kind of like a little feeding station for the cows. So let's get something like that, I reckon. And then pretty much all on the outside here, I want to add a big fence surrounding this entire area. And so I'm going to get that all placed in. And what I'm also going to do is just place a whole bunch of this grass around the place as well. Just like that. That looks awesome. So yeah, I'm going to continue filling out this fence. What I'll also do is go and grab some cows down from at my barn, the same place where I got the sheep from. I'll bring them up here, and we'll take a look at how the farm's looking. All right, and we are back with our cows. Let's get them breeding and get that started. Give them some bloody privacy. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's our little baby. So cute. And yeah, there we have it. That's our entire cow farm all done. I really like that idea, having this little shed off to the side. I think it looks really cool. And yeah, cow farm done. Let's move on to our next farm. Okay, and for our next one, we have the banana farm. This is our reference right here. And we basically just have a whole bunch of trees, and they look pretty interesting. And as you can see, I have also already replaced our ground fully with coarse dirt. So I think what we're going to do is something like... oh my god, once again, motherfucker. You're a dick knob. That's what you are. There we go. So that's our layout there. Let's get these raised up, and we want them to look like the trees in the reference, which is going to be... Is it going to be hard? I don't know. So we want something like that, I guess. Where's me shears? Yeah, so something... So leaves kind of like that branching out. Yeah, dude, that's going to look cool. All right, and there we have it. That's our first banana tree there. It does look a little weird, but honestly, I think that's as close as we can really get it to the reference, and I want to stick to that reference, okay? And yeah, we also don't have a lot of area to work with, because we want to cram in a couple of trees in here at least. All right, and so yeah, now of course I'm going to basically just repeat this same tree design across every single one of our trees here. I'll get that done, and I'll meet you guys back here. And then we have it. That's our banana farm all done. I love the way this one turned out. These trees are really cool. I literally did them as best as I could, and I think they turned out pretty nicely. And yeah, of course I just sprinkled in a bunch of details throughout this as well. I just realized these wheelbarrows are completely floating. Like, then none of this is touching the ground. But that's okay. We're just gonna roll with it. Get it? Roll with it, because that's a wheel. I'm so sorry, dude. Let's move on to the next farm, which is actually going to be chickpeas. Here is our reference picture, and they just look like a big, like, you know, row of bushes here. And they're very, like, short and wide. So to represent that in Minecraft, what I'm going to do is actually do, like, a 2x2 bush like this. And so within our boundary, I can only get 2 rows of 2x2. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go one outside the boundary and touch our trees here. Sorry if you can hear my son in the background. Because I want 3 rows of these bad boys going in. Because I think it's going to look really cool. And there we go. That's our farm of chickpeas there. I think... Just to make this look... What the hell are you doing, kid? He's going crazy. To make this look a little more interesting, oh my Jesus Christ, dude. I think we're gonna add maybe like 1 or 2 little bits sticking up on each of these, just to kind of make it look a little more interesting. Now, let's just step back and take a look, and yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'm actually gonna completely redo this because I don't like how this is touching this here, and we can't really like tell that this is part of a farm, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna redo all of this. Basically the same idea, I'm just gonna put them in a different spot. So let me get that done. I'll meet you guys back at the front here. Okay, and here is my final revision of the chickpea farm. I ended up replanting all of the leaves, and then I decided I want to change them again to frickin' spruce leaves because they do more closely match the chickpeas in that reference, I do believe. And it also helps differentiate it again from our palm trees right beside, well, not palm trees, but banana trees right beside it. And I also sprinkled in a bunch of grass around this just because it was looking pretty bare. And yeah, I think this has turned out pretty cool. I like these like individual bushes, really nice. It is now time to move on to our final farm. And for this one, we need a special plant. So we're going to head over to the flower forest biome that is kind of behind our main base over there. And we're going to have a look for the plant that we need. So I'll meet you guys over there. All right, and here we are, and the plant is here. It is these ones that we need. Oh, what is it called? I'm trying to think. That's a lilac. I can't remember what this one is called. God damn it. Let's see. Oh, peony. Okay. But yeah, so this is the plant we need, as it very closely resembles a cotton plant, and that is actually the last farm that we're going to be making. So I'm going to need a whole bunch of these because our reference looks exactly like this. They're basically planted in these giant rows. So I'm going to get a whole bunch of these bad boys, and I'll meet you guys back up at the farm. All right, we are back at the farm here. I got a whole bunch of peonies. There was no shortage of them in that bloody flower forest. And now what we're going to do is we're going to lay out our rows. I think, yeah, we're going to do something like that, I reckon. Okay, thank Christ we actually had enough. We have 10 to spare. And so I think a final detail for this one is we'll actually put in a couple of wheelbarrows, of course. So let's get one of these added in here. Maybe a couple of composters as well. Let's get some of those sprinkled in, and then probably just one more wheelbarrow over here. Yeah, so there we go. That's our final farm, the cotton field all done. And you might have noticed we do have a spare plot here. I did actually want to add something here, but I just, for the life of me, cannot think of another farm to add here. So I want you guys to leave another comment, okay? I know you already left one before about whatever it was that I said. I literally cannot remember. But I want you to leave a comment on what we should put here, and we'll do it in the next episode for sure. I want you guys to think of something cool and interesting that can actually be built in Minecraft. So be sure to leave a comment with your idea, and we'll build it in the next episode. And yeah, so that's just about going to do it for all 20 of our super realistic farms that we've made in Minecraft here. If you want to download this entire area along with anything else in my survival world so far, be sure to check out my Patreon, as I have the downloads up over there. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.